Hello, everyone, and welcome to Embracing Your Essence on Lilydale Radio. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. As usual, as you are logging on, please do say hello. Tonight, we've got a great show planned for you. We're going to be talking about spirit guides, and we'll do a nice process, and I'll repeat this in a moment. But as you are logging in, definitely say hello so we can see what's going on in your lives and how you guys are doing as well. So, as I said, this is Lilydale Radio. The name of the show is called Embracing Your Essence. And I'm Colleen Vander Zijden, the host of the show. I am a registered medium here in Lilydale. I'm also a certified intuitive life coach, a spiritual teacher, the author of the book, Courageously You, Magical Mind Games to Get Unstuck and Reignite Your Joy. Hi, Michelle. Happy Halloween to you. And hi, Denise. Yeah, it was pretty quiet in Lilydale tonight. Not too many kids. Sometimes we get a whole bunch, but it was kind of snowing on and off, so here we are. And hi, Christy, nice to see you. And so as I was saying, I'm Colleen Vander Zijden, the host of the show. My website is becourageouslyyou.com or colleenvanderzijden.com. And of course, we have lilydaleassembly.org, which is the official website of Lilydale Assembly. And on Facebook, Lilydale Assembly Incorporated is the official page. And you can find out all of the workshops that are coming up on Zoom very soon, right there on that page on Facebook. So thank y'all for joining me tonight. We got a great show planned as usual. Hi, Randy. Hi, Susan and Tracy. Nice to see you. Hi, Lisa and Carol. So tonight we are going to be talking about spirit guides, and it's going to be a great show. We are going to talk about what spirit guides are, how you can tell if they are talking to you, communicating with you. We are going to talk about a couple of ideas to help you connect. We are going to do a guided imagery process where you are going to connect with a guide right here. It's like we're doing a little mini workshop tonight. So we're going to connect with a guide here. And you can take notes and all of that as you want, but I'll give you some direction as we get there. Hi, Debbie. Nice to see you. And hi, Fran. Hi, Sam and Meg and Ellen. Peggy, I don't know if I said hello to you yet, but here we are again, and we'll say hello. And Jennifer, and happy Halloween, everybody. Tomorrow's November. Can you believe it? Time is flying this year, isn't it? So a couple announcements, and then we will get right to what's going on here tonight. I do want to make sure we have everybody who wants to participate and meet a guide tonight here online. So I've got things to talk about, a couple things. It won't take too long, though, to talk about before we actually do the process where you get to meet your guide tonight. Hi, Kelly and Rodney and Mary Kay. So a couple things. I have on my Facebook page, Colleen Vander Zijden, medium and intuitive life coach. That's where I am right now. If you are watching on the Lilydale page or you are watching in the spiritual growth and support group, you can keep watching there. But if you want to make a comment or ask a question or anything like that, you'll want to be over on my page. Now, on my page as well, Colleen Vander Zijden, medium and intuitive life coach. Make sure it's the right page. There's a couple of fake ones out there. Mine is the one that has 4,400 followers, not the one that has 0 followers, just so you know. There's always a way to check. Up on the top of my page, you will see a couple of featured posts. One is a free Soul Intentions ebook that you can download for free, no big deal. And you also can check out my Courageously You small group coaching program. I have 2 seats left. You can get more information. It's right there on my page. So there we are. I just want to make sure I said those things, checking people, making sure people are here. And Samuel, been watching last night's enlightenment video. We had a great enlightenment conversation last night in the soul empowerment community. It was awesome. So we are going to, as I said, we are going to be talking about spirit guides this evening. Now, if you're at all interested in spirit guides, you might want to take some notes. Hi, Charity. Hi, Cindy. You might want to take some notes, and you might also want to have paper and pen nearby when we do the guided imagery process and we meet a guide. You may get some insights, some thoughts, some ideas, and you'll want to write them down. We always think we're going to remember these things, and we might remember a little bit, but just have some paper nearby just in case, or your phone or something that you can use. And I'll give you further direction on that once we get there. Hi, Carrie. Nice to see you. So let's talk about spirit guides. What are spirit guides, right? So spirit guides, and this is all based on my belief system, on what I've learned so far. If it doesn't make sense to you, then don't take it on. But spirit guides to me are divine beings, okay? These are beings of love and light that are connected to the divine wisdom, the universal energy, the God energy, etc. And that these divine beings are part of the spiritual flow that is out there and around us so much of the time. Now, our spirit guide, some people, wonder about spirit guides. Like, do I have a spirit guide? Is that even possible? Or maybe we're not even really sure if we believe in it. But my belief system is that everyone has some kind of being, or more than one, that is guiding us, hence the word spirit guides, right? So we've talked about guardian angels. In some religions, guardian angels are very important. Those would be a form of a spirit guide. And I'll talk a little bit on what some of the theories are about, who the guides are, so to speak. I'll talk about that in a minute. But the spirit guides to me are around us all of the time. I happened to see something somewhere where somebody said, your spirit guides won't help you unless you ask. And I disagree with that, because I believe that our guides are around us all the time and that they will help us whether or not we ask for it. That's my belief system. Okay. Now, of course, we can intentionally ask questions and get more guidance as we're going, but that's my belief system. They are around us all of the time. And they are here with us in our energetic flow, if you will, to help us live our best lives. They're here to help us grow so we can learn to live as our soul, so that we can live more fully in the love and the light. These spirit guides can protect us from physical things, mental, emotional things. They can protect us. And of course, the word guide, they guide us. They assist us on our path. And we can use them, and that doesn't sound very nice, does it? But we can ask them to help us as we grow, as we learn. Now, this is not contingent upon any kind of religion, that you have to have a certain religion to have access to these special guides. There's nothing with that. It's just your own belief system and what you'd like to experience. There we are. I'm just going to check the comments. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Nancy. And hi, Cassandra. So as we're talking about these guides, you could start, if it's not really something you've considered or really thought about, just play with me as we go. Just think about this and open your mind up to whether or not you believe you could have somebody, an energetic divine being who could help you. Just think about that. I have to tell you, it kind of gives me some reassurance that there's somebody, so to speak, on the other side, around me, that is helping me and that I can turn to for advice and guidance. Now, there are several theories on who these guides are, and you can believe whatever you want, as I said. Sometimes people say our guides, one of them could be our higher self. We call it our higher self. I would call that our soul. Okay, that is the part of us that is most connected to the divine energy. So we could connect with our soul, and that could be looked at as a guide. We also have the option of angels and archangels. These are divine energy, purity of spirit. My belief system is that angels and archangels are not necessarily having been a part of the physical existence that we currently live in. Okay, so this is my belief system again. Okay, some people, we think that saints or something, like Mother Teresa. Let's take Mother Teresa. The church has made her a saint, and she definitely is like a saint, right? For sure. Now, could she be an angel or an archangel? Maybe. I don't know. But my belief is that that's the purity of spirit. So then we also have spirits and ancestors, people who have been alive in this physical incarnation. And on the other side are now spirits or our ancestors or other physical people that are now over there in spirit land, if you will. And they can also be guides for us too. So they would also be spirit guides. Then we have the big names, the ascended masters, Jesus, Buddha, Buddha, Mary, and those, of course, can be a guide as well. Then we have animals or nature guides. And a lot of people enjoy the idea that they might have, a spirit animal that is guiding them, or an animal totem or something like that. So let me just check the comments for a second and see if you've asked something I need to be answering. How does a spirit become a guide? That's a great question, Carol. My guess would be a desire to help. So say, for example, I have a relative who's on the other side, and I was so close to them when they were here, and I might talk to them a lot, and while they're on the other side, and then they could become a guide where I might get messages from them, or they might give me some intuition to do certain things, or I might feel their presence around me, helping me and guiding me. The desire on their part to be a guide for us would be my answer to that. Do you sense other people's guides besides yours, like your own? Maybe it depends. Like in my field as a medium, I might sense other people's guides. Interesting question. It's probably not really too important to know if we sense other people's guides, because really we want to connect with our own, especially tonight. So for those of you who have just joined in, what we're doing tonight, we're talking a little bit about spirit guides, and then we are going to do a guided imagery process to connect with a guide. Okay, and this is like a little mini class I'm doing tonight for you guys. So it's fun because we want to connect with our guides, right? And know who's around us and who's helping us. Happy Halloween, Paula. Hi, Courtney. Nice to see you. Hello. Have you lived past lives with them? Ooh, such a good question, Christy. That's certainly possible. I see no reason not to believe that couldn't be true. Absolutely. Why not? It's certainly possible. And I've probably left out some of the theories on who our guides are. Now, my impression as well, speaking of guides, is, of course, that we have a group of guides, that we don't have just one guide. We may have one guide who is more present or in the forefront, if you will, than others. And we may have guides that help us with specific things. So say, for example, you're a doctor of some kind, a medical doctor, and you might have a guide on the other side who is also was a medical doctor, or someone who is very much involved in healing work on the other side, like a healing spirit guide. And they may step in and help you when you're working medically. Then we might have, a love guide. And I don't mean like romantic love, but somebody who's going to help you expand your love. Maybe, an angel or something is going to help you really feel that sense of love and connection. It could be that. Okay. So many things and so many theories, and nothing, when we think about it, as we're talking about this, we're making these theories based on our own experiences. This does not mean they are 100% accurate, because we really don't know. Okay. So I'm just sharing with you my thoughts, my experiences with guides today. And maybe, like I said, some of them, the different ones help us at different times. Devin says, when my mom passed, I went to a medium. She told me I wasn't alone. My mother passed sitting next to me when I was 8 months pregnant. And of course, now, here's an interesting thing, right? Is it different, having somebody who is labeled a spirit guide versus someone who is a spirit, someone we love that's around us? Is it different? It may or may not be, but it's something to consider and think about it. But my theory definitely is that we have several or many or maybe a whole bunch of guides. And so many people do want to know, we do want to know who our spirit guides are, because there's a sense of reassurance that there is some being of love and light that is around us that we can rely on, we can ask for help. Now, here's something we want to think about, and I'll mention this again later. Sometimes people have an ego attachment to who they want as a guide. So I can't tell you how many times I've gone to workshops and so many people have said, oh, I have as my guide this amazing Native American person who has been my guide. And it happened so frequently. I finally asked people, I said, what is up with this? Everybody wanting a Native American guide. And part of it is these people were admiring Native Americans and their connection to the earth and all of those facets of being Native American. But sometimes our guides are not like big name people. Okay, they're not like very special. So we want to be open to allow whoever wants to come in to show themselves to us. We want to be open. Don't have any preconceived notions, you know? And maybe, yes, I have told a couple people in readings that one of their guides was the Virgin Mary. You know, I'm like, you've got Mary right here. And they're like, oh, I'm not worthy, but we are. And so you never know who it's going to be, but we want to be as open as possible. Okay. Hold on, people. Okay. Took care of an issue already. We already have issues. Okay. Jennifer, when I was going through endless fertility treatments to have my daughter, I saw a medium who told me all about the spirit guide I had just for that. It made me feel less alone, and I had someone to talk to during the process. Right? Absolutely. So, names aren't important when it comes to guides, but it is nice if we have a name because then it helps us feel more connected. And don't worry, we are going to do this process quite soon. I just really want to make sure y'all here and you're ready to go. Sam, I've been told that I have a Native American guide that helps me with my Reiki, and that's perfectly wonderful, right? Okay, now, so how do we know if a guide is around? Like, how do we know? We have our own thoughts and our own minds, and you know how we get stuck in worries and fear and all that. When we're in those kinds of emotions, our guide is not communicating with us at that moment, okay? Those are not the guide's thoughts. What's going to happen is when we have a guide around, we might feel or sense them. You know, we might just have a certain feeling in our body as though someone's around. You might have a certain tingle in your third eye area, the top of your head, or in other places. It seems that people tend to feel a lot, you know, it just feels like somebody's there. Before I realized about spirit guides, I would go and take a walk, and I would always feel like somebody walking with me. Even though I couldn't see anybody, I always felt somebody walking with me. Now, back then, I wasn't curious, and I never said, hey, wait, who are you? Why are you here? I never did that. I just would say, hey, nice to see you, and we'd go on our walk. I just wasn't as curious as I might have been. Same thing, I remember lying in bed one night and somebody sat next to me on the bed literally depressed. You know, was that a guide, a spirit? I don't know. But somebody was there and I was like, oh, hi, how's it going? I never thought to ask. So be curious about what you're feeling. If you get certain sensations, as you go and you experience more time with your guides, you'll start to recognize when you can feel a guide around you. Sometimes people will see things, you know, maybe a guide standing there or in their mind's eye, or they might see light or wavy energy. Sometimes they'll see that. Sometimes you'll know a guide is around because you have just words pop into your head. They just come right in. Let's see, check in the comments. Cindy says, in one of your previous sessions, you had told me my spirit guide was East Indian, but the name wasn't clear to you. Yeah, so all sorts of things out there. So we'll see. And what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about some ways to connect, just very short, and a way to strengthen. And then we're going to get right into the process because it's going to take me a good 10, 15 minutes probably to do this because I really want you to go deep so that you can really feel it. Okay. So how do you connect? Ask them to help you. Number one, why don't we ask them? We don't have to, but if we have something going on and we are looking for guidance and we want to get out of our own head and our own thoughts, just ask them to help. You can ask them to be with you for support. You can ask them for help with a certain problem. You can just carry on a conversation and go from there. Another thing that can be very helpful for connecting with a guide is meditating, of course, with the intention to connect. Now, when we connect, when we're meditating and we're wanting a guide to come and help us, this is what we want to do. We set the intention and then we just be open. We don't go, oh, is that a guide over there? Or where are you? Where are you? And keep asking questions. We expect the guide to show up one way or another, and we be still and allow the answer to come. It could be immediately in your thoughts, or it might come later as a song on the radio, or something you just know, or something very synchronistic happens. You might get that sign, a dream, a sudden insight. The answer could come in a few days while you're washing dishes and not thinking about it, or driving and not thinking about your question. Okay, so you expect the guide to provide some guidance for you. Okay, now, I've got to talk about this for just a second longer. Lots of times when we're trying to do something new we haven't done before, connect with a guide, work on healing, that kind of thing, we as humans, we want to really focus on it. I'm trying really hard to be healed. I'm trying really hard to connect with a guide. This is not how it works. We don't try really hard to connect. We allow the guide to come into our awareness. So what we're trying to do, and I don't like the word trying, is we just open up and become aware. Because we don't know how your guide is going to come in. Will your guide say something to you? Will you just feel something? Will you just know something? Will you get a sign? Okay, so we just want to be open for this. And then the other part that is so essential, which we talk about a lot here, is trusting. We want to trust that the guide is going to be there, that the guide is around you. Again, I believe they're around us all the time. We want to let the question go. If we have a specific question, we ask it, then we let it go and trust the answer will come. I have heard over the years, I've heard a lot of people say, oh, I asked my guide for a sign and I told them I wanted it at 3 o'clock. And it's this specific sign. And which is cool. However, it could get us into this space where we're asking for, oh, I need this sign to know it's right. I need this sign to know it's right. I need this. And then you tell the spirit guide what kind of sign you want, when it's going to be, what it's going to look like. And instead, we might consider trusting the spirit to send us the sign that would be best for us, rather than us trying to control it and asking for something specific. Like, who knows more? Is it the spirit guide or is it you? I know for myself, I would trust my spirit guide to know what I need, maybe even a little better than I do, if not a lot better. So we want to trust, and we trust that they're going to communicate with us. We simply be and patiently wait. Okay, this is the trusting part. Okay, I'm going to check some of the comments just to see if I didn't miss anything. Okay, some of my guides validate their presence with certain scents. Yes, perfect. Yes. Michelle says, I have one spirit guide named Mary and one named Paul that I know of. How fun. Hi, Chrissy, thank you for the stars. Julie, can a guide or angel do something, intervene even with the law of attraction active? I believe an angel, a guide, spirit can intervene and make physical changes here. I absolutely do. Here's the thing. Again, we don't want to control them. We don't want to tell them what we want them to do. Okay, we are open to their guidance. Debbie says, sometimes I have a ringing in my left ear. When that happens, I ask my husband if he's trying to tell me something, but then it stops. Maybe it's spirit guide. Well, Debbie, I can tell you, when I was doing healing work a lot, my left ear would buzz, and then I would go deaf in my ear. And so I knew when that happened, I was connected to either a healing guide or whoever. Yes, guides can be departed loved ones. Absolutely, Colleen. Absolutely. So now here's an idea. To strengthen your connection or continue the communication. Writing is a fun way to go. Inspirational writing with the intention to connect with a guide. You know, for today, I'm going to use this example that a way to do this would be to hold like a clear or a pink quartz crystal. The quartz crystal amplifies energy and connects you. The pink one is the love one. And there are lots of other crystals that you can use for something like this. And if you like a specific certain crystal, use that one. I have this crystal sitting on my desk right now, and this is a golden healing crystal, which is very powerful, and I very much like that one. So there are lots of crystals you can use to connect. And so what you would do is you would hold one And then you would meditate and slow your mind down and just be and start relaxing, and then set your intention that you're going to connect with a guide. And then you would ask a question. And you want to start with something that's not big, okay? Don't start with, should I get a divorce? You know, something that carries a lot of weight, okay? Because your mind, somewhere in your mind, you already have an answer you're hoping for. And if you already have that, you could influence this connections. So your mind might try to manipulate it. So you start with a question. It could be something very simple. Sometimes when I'm starting inspirational writing for myself or telling people how to do it, I say, ask questions that really aren't important. You know, why do I like apples? Why is the sky blue? Why is green my favorite color? Whatever it might be, because those are questions you don't have an attachment to a certain answer with, right? So, and then an easy one to ask is, what do I need to know right now? So you've got your crystal, you're setting your intention to connect. You ask the question, what do I need to know right now? And then you open and you wait. Now for the writing part, what you do is you just start writing whatever comes into your head. Don't judge it. Don't question it. Just keep writing. Even if it's, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be writing, but you start like that. And then you go, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be writing, but what you need to know right now is that you need to breathe. And all of a sudden you might start writing things that you wouldn't normally write. And just keep writing as long as you can. Stay curious, stay open, and allow the information to come through. This may work the first time, it might work the fourth time, who knows? But there will come a time, if you play with this, where the words you write down would be words you wouldn't normally say, or there'll be a little bit of a message in there and you go, oh, that makes sense. I get it. That's what I need to know. So you allow that information to come when it needs to come in its own time. Okay. It is very interesting. And now, how will you know the difference between your own head, your own messages, your own worry, your own fears, and the voice of your intuition or a guide? A guide's message is going to come in just like intuition does, which is very factual. It doesn't come in with a lot of emotion. It's peaceful. It's along the line of, I'm going to the store to get milk. Okay. I'm going to go to the store and get milk. You get that message. It's not, I'm going to go to the store and get milk because I absolutely have to have it. That comes in with emotion. That's not going to be a guide. That's not going to be your intuition. You'll also start to notice that when that message comes in, you do get a certain feeling in your body. It'll just feel right. So connecting with a guide it helps your intuition, of course, but you're going to start to become more aware of how the feeling is in your body. Okay. And it's different for everyone. So I can't tell you it's going to feel exactly like this. For me, I just know it. My body feels relaxed. It feels comfortable. It feels confident that I know I'm headed in the right place. Okay. Check in here. Sometimes the guide knows you're going to connect with them and they might plant the sign in your thoughts that you asked to see. Yes, that would make sense. Yes, amethyst is a great stone to use. Charity, when using a pendulum, who is answering the question? Good question. Excellent question, Julie. It could be your soul, your higher self, and it could also be a guide. Absolutely. No question about that. Okay, so here we go. If you're just joining in, I'm Colleen van der Zijden, and what we're doing is spirit guides this evening. Okay, so we are going to get ready now to go into the process, if you're ready, to connect with a guide. Okay, there's a few pages here of my notes to make sure I take you in nice and deep. Okay, but what I want to do is get as open as possible so you can really start to understand that there's a guide around you, and so that you can strengthen that connection so you feel them and so you know they're there. Alexandra says, when I was sick, I felt someone holding my hand. Absolutely. Isn't it amazing? I tell you, guides, they have that power. So you want to be in a place right now where you can be undisturbed. If you think you're going to have like children running in and out of the room, or somebody's got the TV blasting and you're not going to be able to concentrate, maybe you want to move to a different location. You want to be in a spot where you can close your eyes. Obviously, if you're driving, this would not be the time to do this guided imagery process. We don't want you meeting the guides on the other side. We want you to stay here for a little longer. You may want to have paper and pen nearby, or something to write with, or your phone nearby that you can take notes on, because you might have some insights or some thoughts or something you want to remember. You may think you're going to remember things, but you might not. Okay, so have something nearby. Be open to the experience. Okay, trust that the guide that is right for you at this very moment will come. Okay, it may be different than a guide you've met in the past. If you've already met guides, it could be different, and that's fine. Okay, there's lots of guides out there. Okay, so just trust. You want to be curious. You want to be open. Who is going to come and visit with me today? Be a little bit excited. It's kind of cool, right? To have them come and visit with you. Even if you're not quite sure, just go with it. At the very least, you should get a good relaxation out of this. But I want a little more than that. I'd like you to be able to go, you know what? I think somebody really was there. And just consider this, okay? You might be surprised. Don't try to control who comes to you, and don't assume anything. Do not assume anything. Okay? No forcing, no nothing. We want to trust the process and allow the right guide to come. The guide that is most helpful to you at this time. Okay, Julie's asking a question, and then we'll go. If information sounds negative, why, what, who could this be? It could be our own fears. If information sounds negative, it's not from your guide. So there we are. Okay, so everybody, you ready? Yeah, let's go. So close your eyes. And just take a nice deep breath. And we're going to set an intention that we are open to connecting with a guide, the guide that is best for us at this moment. We're setting the intention we are open. We're willing to set aside anything that might block us. We are absolutely open. And we keep taking a nice deep breath, and we relax. Our body keeps relaxing more and more. And just keep doing a nice deep breath. I want you to visualize, imagine, or think about being outside, standing on the edge of a beautiful field of tall grass. And you might see the yellow, green, and light brown grass waving in a slight breeze. And if you're a visual person, you might be looking at all those colors. And if you're not a visualizer, just imagine or think about it. And you might notice some small birds flitting about the grass. You're good, we're good, we're just starting this process. You might notice the small birds flitting about the grass. The sun is shining brightly. The sky is blue with some scattered fluffy clouds. It's the perfect temperature for you. You take a nice deep breath, and you can smell a faint aroma of the sweet grass mixed with the scent of some colorful flowers. With another deep breath, you feel your body relax more and more. You are content and feel connected to the earth in a wonderful way. This is such a peaceful setting where you feel safe and happy. Nothing is bothering you. Keep breathing and relaxing. You feel so peaceful. Take another deep breath, and as you look around, you notice a narrow dirt path right in front of you. It winds into the field of grass. You see some scattered pebbles on the dirt, and on the edges of the path, you also see some very small clumps of purple, pink, and blue flowers. They dot the side of the path and mix in with the tall grass. And again, if you're a visualizer, just keep looking there and imagine in your mind's eye. If you're not much of a visualizer, just imagine, just think about. And as you're looking at this path, it looks so inviting. You're very curious as to where this path will lead. And you decide to step onto the path and follow it. And as you walk at a relaxed and comfortable pace, You pay attention to your surroundings with all of your senses. Just breathe and feel. You listen to the birds singing and chirping. You might feel the slight breeze on your face and arms, and the gentle warmth of the sun on your head and body. You see butterflies fluttering about, and the smell of the earth and plants helps you feel centered and grounded. You take a deep breath, a full deep breath, and really connect to this moment. You're in this space and feel wonderful. And the path gently turns to the left, and off in a short distance you see a few trees. You notice a couple of tall evergreen trees, a majestic oak tree with the leaves gently waving, and you even see a weeping willow tree with its long branches. There's something special about that grove of trees. It looks so appealing, and you feel called to that space and hope the path will take you there. And take another deep breath. You are fully relaxed and you are comfortable. And as you keep walking on the dirt path, you notice that you are fully present in this moment. You're so peaceful and you feel so content. You take a deep breath and notice the fresh air. It is so clean and clear. You're enjoying your walk on this beautiful, perfect day. It's very quiet, and you notice the only things you're hearing are the birds, the rustle of the grass, an occasional buzzing of insects, and your very faint footsteps. You feel so relaxed and comfortable, so peaceful. Take another deep breath. The path takes another slight turn, and you realize it's taking you to a clearing within the trees. The trees are surrounding an open area. As you look ahead, you see the colors of the trees are so vibrant. You see brilliant greens, shining tans and yellows, and you even see some blues. And as you're looking, you notice the light in that space is glowing. Even though it's a bright sunny day, there is more to this light than simply sunlight. You smile and take another deep breath. And in some areas, as you're looking around, you see this faint mist, like the mist over a lake in the early morning. And you're getting more curious. You start walking a little faster. You want to know what's over there. It's calling you. And just a few more steps to go before you're in this clearing. You're very curious and you're feeling excited. You feel anticipation, as though there is something in this space that is special and important for you. The path stops as you reach the clearing, and you pause and eagerly look around. It might look like something you would see in a fairy tale. It's picturesque. Imagine exquisite plants, gorgeous flowers, and stunning flowering bushes. The trees form a protective semicircle around this space, and it seems like they're gently dancing in the breeze. And as you breathe deeply, you feel invigorated. You're happy. You feel peaceful and excited at the same time. You again notice the mysterious and beautiful pockets of mist. The energy is welcoming. It feels so alive. You feel so connected and safe. You might even feel that your energy has merged with this energy, that it is within and around you. You feel one with it. You walk slowly into this clearing on very soft grass, taking it all in and feeling the joy and the peace. The trees provide just enough shade, diffusing the sunlight, but you notice the light within this space has a radiant, luminescent glow. You feel warm and safe, and it feels familiar, like you've been here before. You can hear the gentle splashing and bubbling of a creek, and you turn in the direction of the sound and notice a wooden bench on the bank of a small creek. You walk over to it, take a deep breath, and sit on the comfortable bench. You are so relaxed and peaceful. Everything feels just perfect. You gaze at the water flowing and bubbling over the rocks. It's mesmerizing. You close your eyes for a few moments, just soaking in the peaceful relaxation. You don't know when you felt so relaxed. And you breathe. You take another deep breath and you open your eyes. And as you look around, when you look to the side, you see a figure approaching you through the mist. Coming through the mist is a figure. You're not sure if you see one right now. Simply imagine a figure coming toward you. You feel perfectly safe. You are perfectly safe. You're comfortable. And as this being walks toward you and gets closer to you, you again feel that sense of familiarity. And as you watch, you keep breathing and you're relaxed. As they walk toward you, you realize it's one of your guides. How do you feel? Maybe you feel excited to have this connection. You might be a little nervous, but that's okay because they understand. You decide to be open. Something draws you to them. You know they have come here at this moment to have a special connection with you. And as they get even closer and closer, pay attention to the details. What do they look like? Are they short or tall? Are they male or female or beyond a gender? Just totally beyond gender. What are they wearing? Just be curious. There's no right or wrong answers. Pay attention. What do they look like? What are they wearing? Can you see a face yet, or is it a purely energetic being? I'll give you a few seconds to just look. And if you're not necessarily seeing anything just yet, keep feeling it. How are you feeling? Can you feel this being near you? And if you're not yet seeing, you can also think about what you would like your guide to be like. What would someone you trust and believe in look like? Imagine that and see what happens, staying open and curious. And as they get closer, in addition to anything you see, you might also notice other sensations. Are you hearing anything in particular? We're just taking our time. We're taking our time and allowing this information to come to us. Are there any smells or aromas? Can you sense their energy? Is your energy changing? Use all of your senses and simply notice. You're forming a connection. This energetic connection between you and the guide is getting stronger. And without words, invite your guide to sit with you on the bench. You slide over a little bit to give them a bit of room. And as your guide sits next to you, love totally encompasses you. You feel like you're sitting with your oldest and best friend who has always been there for you throughout lifetimes. You know you're safe and cared for. Feel this energy and allow it to be fully in and around you, a part of you. Breathe and feel. Your guide might gently even touch you. You may not need anything like that. This energetic connection is so strong. Within this connection is your strength, courage, power, and pure, unconditional, limitless love. You know it's safe to say anything. What do you want to tell your guide? You may want to thank them for being here, for having helped you in the past. Keep breathing and feeling that strong connection with your guide. It is perfectly safe. You are connected. This guide has been with you forever. Take a deep breath and open to the wisdom your guide wants to share. Ask them, what do I need to know right now? And maybe your guide answers you directly. Maybe you have a sense of what your guide wants you to know. Maybe your guide wants you to trust your own instincts. Your guide might even give you a gift. Pay attention to what you're feeling, and I'll pause and let you ask your question and feel into the answers. Trust yourself. Trust what is happening. Whatever is happening is right. Pay attention to what you're feeling. You might notice words. The message may come through with emotions, with your emotions, not in a negative way. You might have bodily sensations, or you may simply know. Trust what you're experiencing. You're experiencing exactly what you need. Keep breathing and feeling the connection. Stay open and aware. Keep breathing and feeling. Use your imagination if you need to. You're not making it up, even with using your imagination. Take another deep breath. Is there anything else that needs to be communicated by you or your guide? Stay aware, stay open. If you're curious about your guide's name and you haven't heard it yet, this might be a good time to ask. Allow the name to come, no thinking. A name isn't necessary, but if something pops into your head, go with whatever happens first. And keep breathing. Keep breathing and feeling. Notice how you feel right now. How does your body feel? How does your mind feel? Is there anything else that needs to be communicated at this moment? Take another deep breath. And another deep breath, and we're going to start to wrap up this conversation, but we know that it can be continued later. As your guide looks at you one more time, as you connect, as you feel their presence so strongly, you get another very strong feeling of love coming from your guide. You feel that connection and you know you are safe. You know that you are supported and guided. You might express your gratitude and love for them coming to visit with you today. And your guide reminds you that you and they are always connected, and you are never without their guidance. You feel happy to know they're around you, and you breathe in the love and make an intention to remember this feeling and take it with you everywhere you go. Keep breathing. As you watch your guide walk back into the mist, you might feel a tinge of sadness, but that's okay. It was so wonderful to be in the energy, and you want to be there as much as possible. But your guide sends you one last message that says, remember, I'm always with you. And you again feel that same energy you got when your guide was near you, or maybe even if they touched you. And you understand without a doubt that their words and the impressions you got from them are true. As your guide fades away into the mist, take another deep breath and make a memory imprint. Remember this space. Remember the message. Remember the connection, and you can return to this space at any time. Take another deep breath. And you stand up from the bench and you head back to the path with one last look around, knowing you'll remember this amazing location. You step onto the path. You feel spiritually connected. And as you walk down the path away from this space, you again notice the grass, the birds, the butterflies in the breeze, the flowers, and everything seems even more beautiful than it was before. It's as though you're seeing everything with new eyes, a whole new awareness, and breathe it in. You might feel empowered and inspired and understand you are a limitless soul, always connected to your guide. As you reach the end of the path, take another deep breath and then come back into your room. Notice the chair or bed beneath your body. Wiggle your feet. Pay attention to your shoulders and move them around a little bit. Relax your stomach muscles. Notice the muscles around your eyes, your mouth, and relax those. Breathe and become aware and listen to the sounds in your room. You're becoming more present in this physical space. Take another deep breath and then open your eyes. Now, if you need to write something down, make some notes, jot them down now while it's fresh, and you can always add to it later. And then I would love to hear what you experienced. Now, that was on the longer side, that meditation, because it was real important to my guide and me that you really get into that relaxed space where you're feeling content and satisfied, where you feel really good to start with, so that when we got to the clearing in the woods where your guide came out of the mist, that you were open and receptive. Okay, so that's why it was on the longer side. So definitely, if you experience something, feel free to write in the comments. I would love to hear what you experienced. At the very least, you should have felt more relaxed. And so if you want to share it, definitely do this. It was fun doing it because when I'm leading a meditation like that, I can kind of feel into other people's energies and see what's going on. And even if you fell asleep, and I know probably a couple of you did, even if you did, that's okay. Because sometimes that's easier for our guides to come through in that way. So if you're not back in your room yet, you need to get here so that you can process and take notes of what you're doing. Now, the advantage, of course, is having recording is if you missed any of this, you can, of course, come back and listen to it later. So Christy asks, what if your guide was an animal? I saw a beautiful horse. And a guide can be. It can be an animal. It can be angel, archangel. It can be somebody who used to be alive. It could be a spirit being who never incarnated physically. All of that can be all of those things. And what we really want to do is trust that whatever we experienced is right for right now. And if you've never done anything like that before, then just go with how it felt. And if or maybe you had a really cool, profound experience, and that's cool too. So Sue says she's relaxed. Debbie, I was holding her hand and she said, I'll be happy and okay. And Debbie, how did you feel when you got that message? You'll be happy and okay. sometimes when we get a message like that, the simple messages from our guides that are, I love you, I'm around you, but there's a feeling that comes with it and we go, oh, I know it, and you can believe it. And it really reassures us, doesn't it? Jan says, where'd it go? My dad has been around recently in dreams and signs. He passed in 2001. Haven't had this since he passed. Halloween was one of his favorite times to terrify us, and our neighbor laid by putting stockings over his head. Did he bop in for you, Dan? Oh, my goodness. Let's see. Marianne says, my arms felt heavy. Some energy was here. I did not get a message, but I asked questions and asked for help. Good. And so, Marianne, what may very well happen is that you'll get the answers or impressions will come at a later time. While you're sleeping, while you're washing dishes, whatever it is. And sometimes it is, I have heard other people say things about, like their body starts to feel heavy. And then other people will say their body feels light. And both are fine. There's no judgment on either. Neither is good, neither is bad. It just is. And so we may have certain feelings like this. And so that will help. You could feel the energy. Yes. Nancy, my guide was a bright energy filled and simply told me I was loved. I felt so loved. Isn't that amazing how you can have that energy come in and just feel it like that? So awesome. I'm backtracking because it scrolled too fast, you guys. Sorry. And Debbie says she felt at peace. Sherry, I so want to see this tonight. Family obligation. We'll listen to this later. Yep, it'll be there. I started about 8:35 maybe-ish. Okay, though the beginning part I tell, what to expect, what could happen, etc. Explain some of it. Lynn, Marianne, me too. Arms heavy and tingly. Did feel something, but not sure what. That's okay. And remember, you guys, this is like the beginning for a lot of us. So you can go back to that space yourself, either listening again or just take yourself there. It's faster if you've done it before. You go, okay, I'm here. You could just go to the space, right? And you could go back there and meditate, get in that moment again, feel that energy again, and continue the conversation and get more of a message too. Charity says she saw an angel and got the word harmony. I don't know if that's a name or just a word. I also fell asleep at times in her presence. Yeah, so, there could be two messages in that, right, Charity? Your angel's name could be harmony, and it could also mean creating harmony in your life. So you could have two messages there. That's awesome. That is awesome. Scrolling again. My goodness, that scrolled very far. I'm trying to go back to where I was. Sorry, you guys. Here we are. Michelle, I met a new guy, Daniel. He let me know that when I travel, I'm not alone. Then I got a cryptic message that tea or coffee is a good start, and soon I will be so excited and filled with so much joy that I will hardly be able to contain myself. How wonderful is this? Tracy, so interesting. When I close my eyes and visualize, I only see to the right and can see nothing at all to my left. Completely dark on the left side of my visual field. Tracy, I can tell you when I talk to my guide in spirit, it's always to my right. When I look to my left, it means physical stuff. So that may be similar, that your guide, your spirit connection is on the right. That's just how I work, and that maybe is. Paula, I briefly saw a little boy in part of a story I used to be told when I was little about my uncle in a cherry tree. Then I saw a picture book from my child that a different uncle gave me. I thought I saw someone in the creek water. As I was leaving, I heard what sounded like a radio tuning. Ooh, that's kind of cool. That might be fun to go back there and see what else you can get. Lisa, she said she has always been with me and will always be, but I couldn't see her face. It was just a blur until she spoke, then saw her mouth, but no facial features, but felt like I knew her. Sometimes we won't see the faces because we try to make them into something in particular, so it's better to have it be more of a blur, actually, sometimes. And if you saw somebody's face, that's cool too. So there's nothing wrong. Remember, there's nothing good or bad. We have lots of people helping us. I was doing your spirit guide meditation the other night, Ellen says, and dreamt my grandmother was sitting in a scene in a magenta dress. This was stylish. I never had a dream of her and wondered if she might be a guide. Ooh, could be. Mary Kay. I wanted my mom to come through as my guide. Did you miss that part, Mary Kay, about not trying to control and allowing? But I see it worked out because she says her dad did. And I was crying almost the whole time. I felt loved. Isn't that beautiful? I tell you, the people we need to connect with, the guides we need to connect with will come for us. Darlene, I saw my grandma and she was beautiful like an angel. She held my hand and said she'd never leave me. Blew me a kiss as she left. I was relaxed, had a slight headache, definitely felt the love. Sometimes we get a headache, everybody, because we're connecting through our crown chakra to the spiritual energy, and that's a lot of energy. So if you get a little bit of a headache with that pressure, just do this and pull this part back, okay? That can really help to release some of that, and even up on your head. Just do a pull with this, okay? That helps to release some of that energy. Jan, absolutely, but bringing a bond I never felt when he was alive. Ooh, awesome. Denise, my spirit's guide name is Albert. Not a clear message, but asked questions. Karen, guide name was Barth. Oh, it moved on me again. I hate when it moves on me and I'm trying to read. Oh, here it is. Barthamar, turquoise gem-like eyes, living, breathing, translucent robe. Message was connect to you, connect to us. Felt deliciously paralyzed, I'm not sure that's the right word, pointed at my solar plexus and it was moving and sparkling. How beautiful. I feel so abandoned to this energy, Ron says. You are welcome, you are welcome. Fran says, I really felt like my spirit guide was my childhood friend who died of cancer at 17. She was a glowing figure next to me, comforting and protecting me. Isn't that beautiful? Ophelia, my grandma Clara came through in early 20th century attire. Today is his birthday. She says she thanked her for her dad who has passed, but today is his birthday. Her message was to stay steady. Isn't it wonderful, all the different messages we're getting? Rodney, confused, visited by people who are not past. 3 couples who shared how content they were. Ooh, that's interesting. That is very interesting. Yes, I might want to wonder those people, what they represent to you, what kind of energies they represent. I might go that way because we would not have generally, of course, a spirit guide who's somebody living at this moment. But there could be a representation there that those people represent a certain quality or a certain kind of person from on the other side as a guide. That could be. Okay, awesome. Baba Yaga, I feel twitches in random parts of my body, and I always feel like it's a sign to pay attention. Could that mean I'm connecting to a being? Absolutely. Absolutely. Lisa, I saw 5 children riding away on tricycles. So where did that come from? Oh, now that's fun. Now the symbolism of that, Lisa, just pops into my head right now. The symbolism of that would be something about those childhood qualities that are maybe no longer serving you. Things you don't need anymore, right? It could be a symbol of that. Okay, something like that. Maybe some childhood beliefs that need to be let go of. I don't know. Could be a message. Lisa says she doesn't think she was supposed to see her face. She said her name was Sarah. Yes. And so many times, okay, what will happen as you go through and you connect with your guide, and maybe doing that writing exercise I mentioned earlier could help you strengthen that connection and get more messages. Because when you get into that space, it's kind of a light trance space, and you'll be able to write things out, and that may help. But as you play with this more, you'll be able to strengthen that connection, and you'll get more messages. You'll start to feel things. And I do have to warn you that because we did this, or heads up is a better word. Warning sounds bad, but a heads up that you might have some interesting dreams. Okay, because we've kind of opened up this path and this doorway, and spirit guides may want to come through in your dreams, or you might get insights or messages in different ways. So just be aware that you may get messages when you least expect them, including in your dreams. Okay, so I hope you found that fun and interesting to play with. I know last week a couple people had asked about guides, and I only had a few minutes. I was like, you know what, let's just do a whole show on guides. So a little mini workshop for you guys today that you can come back to if you need to help you connect to your guides. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Colleen van der Zijden, a medium in Lilydale and a spiritual teacher. I do this podcast every Tuesday usually, and we just talk about whatever we can talk talk about. So I will not be around the next couple of weeks because we are teaching in Virginia and Utah, but I will be back in like 3 weeks, and I will post it, and we will probably go back and again connect into, I think we'll do questions and answers and some mini readings again, because that's always fun. So questions and answers next time, and mini readings, and we'll do auras and whatever. If anybody's interested in getting personal guidance, my small group coaching program, 2 seats left, starts in January. Go to my website, get more information. Go to the top of my Facebook feed, Colleen Van Der Zijden, Medium and Intuitive Life Coach. You'll see a featured post right there about the coaching group. Literally 2 seats left. Early bird pricing ends soon. So thank you so much for joining me. Be Courageously You is my website.com, and ColleenVanderzijden.com. You guys have the absolute greatest couple of weeks, and as things go on, if you want to tell me more, like you can post on my page. If you got some really cool insights from your guide, or something else happens and you want to continue this conversation, you could just post it right here, and I will find it eventually as we go through the comments. Okay, you guys, have a wonderful time, and I will see you in just a few weeks. Have fun. Bye.